Coming up on Inside Lee University Basketball, we'll have highlights from more Lee victories for both the men and the women. We'll have the feature as we continue our series looking at the Lee acceptance into the NCAA Division II. And we'll also have a feature on the Lee volleyball team and veteran coach Andrea Hudson. All that and much, much more is straight ahead. Hi again, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Inside Lee University Basketball. I'm Randy Smith. Men's coach Tommy Brown joins us first thing today. A couple of victories, and we had one cancellation because of the icy weather. The Emmanuel game, which was scheduled for last Thursday, will be made up on February 9th, I believe.
That's right. Icy, that's a little bit of a stretch. It was more rainy, I'd say. So the it was
possibility
of inclement weather.
Right.
So.
But we'll talk about that game later. We do have another couple of games, including a meeting last Monday at Tennessee Temple. Tommy, and what could have been the last meeting, at least for a while, between these two old rivals.
It could be. We're working on that right now. There may be a possibility of us playing an exhibition game in the future. But certainly the days of playing home and home are over, and that series has been going on for 79 years, I believe.
Yeah, that's a long series. I'd like to see it continue somehow. But nevertheless, let's take a look at the game at Tennessee Temple.
They got two off the tip right away, and whenever Temple and Lee play, there's a lot of emotion. And, you can see there's some empty space in the crowd. And even in my 8 years, the crowds have dwindled for this game. And it used to be standing room only back in the day. So it's sad that the rivalry has lost a little bit of its luster. Temple is well coached. Coach Brady's doing a really good job with those guys, and so they've got a good future ahead of them. We played really well in the last 10 minutes of the first half. Will Barnes had a good showing for us, and we moved the ball around. We were very unselfish, and so I was really pleased with how we played in the last 10 minutes of the game. Jamoris Gaines, who became eligible at break for us, he has started out the year 15 of 19 from the three-point line, which is pretty incredible. Big Steve has continued to score for us inside. He's got great soft hands. He's a good leader for us. This is a play right before the half that put us up 15. We go from 12 to 15. That was a really big play and gave us the momentum going into halftime. Now, we scored 40 at halftime. We gave up 25. One of the things that we've done 4 or 5 straight games in a row is we've had teams score a lot of points in the second half, and that again happened on this night. We did a nice job offensively throughout the game, but we just didn't do a very good job defensively. Chad Lee is shooting the ball better. He's really got great form. He's a stretch 4, as they like to call. He can play on the perimeter outside and then can guard inside or outside. Jamoris Gaines had over 20 points in this game, as did Will Barnes. Both those guys are big-time scorers. Temple refused to quit. They played awfully hard, and that's a tribute to Coach Brady. I mean, his teams, both games we played against them, they've made runs at the end and just wouldn't go away. I mean, we were up 20, 25 in this game, and they made a late run to cut it to 8 or 9.
85-73, the final score as the Flames knocked off the Crusaders on Monday night. Jamoris Gaines had 25 points, 8 rebounds. He had 5 out of 7 from the floor. Will Barnes tossed in 25 as well for the Flames. And then, of course, we were able to come home and face Bruton Parker. And, of course, this was a conference game, one of hopefully 2 we would have gotten in. But right. Bruton Parker is, conference opponent, so you never want to overlook one of those.
And this is the first time we've really had an easy time with Bruton Parker, maybe in my 8 years here. They've always played us tough, and they're going through a little bit of adversity right now. Right. They've had some injuries, some new guys, so it was a good time for us to play them. I'm sure it'll be a lot different when we go down there.
All right, let's take a look at that game played last week here at the Walker Arena.
We came out, we turned the ball over 4 or 5 times, and so I was a little concerned, but we really started moving the ball well. They were playing zone, we weren't really expecting that, so we took a little time to adjust to that. We held them to 14 points in the first half. They shot 25%, so we really guarded. I felt like we made a big emphasis on that this week. Corey Billingsley, who just got fouled on that play and wasn't called from Sweetwater, is doing a tremendous job for us off the bench. He's got such great body control. He's so strong. There he is right there. He's left-handed, can shoot and drive. Special player for us as a sophomore. Will Barnes continues to score big for us. There's Corey, who, you get a guy that can really score and shoot. You see him moving with the ball right there, making the nice dish to Jamoris Gaines as he comes down the floor. So we're really, really proud of Corey and looking forward to him having a great career for us. Will Barnes is just really difficult to score. To stop driving to the basket in full court. And there you see Chase Dunn. Chase Dunn drives and gets knocked to the floor 4 or 5 times a game. He just goes at it so hard. He actually broke his pinky on Saturday, so we're a little concerned about that. We came out in the second half and we were up 40-14 at halftime, so I was very concerned with what kind of effort we would come out with. I really wanted to get some of the younger guys some playing time, and fortunately we were able to do that. The starters came in and put the game away, so we were able to play guys like Keemon Woods right there, who's going to be a heck of a player for us. He's a freshman out of Gainesville, Georgia. And Chad Lee, again, as you see from highlights, is really shooting the ball well for us. So big Logan Ramsey from Livingston came in and got some minutes. He's 6'8", 6'9". He's going to be an awfully good player for us. As he gains strength, he needs some upper body strength. And Evan Forhetz makes that pass right there. He's a freshman point guard from Ravenwood. And there's Darian Johnson, local product from Bradley Central. Great to get those guys in the game.
A relatively easy win, 80-38, as Lee gets the big victory in conference play. Will Barnes led a balanced attack with 17 points. He also had 5 boards and 4 assists. And Corey Billingsley had 12 points, 5 rebounds, and was 5 of 8 from the floor. Of course, the Emmanuel game scheduled for last Thursday was going to be a huge game, and of course, because of the impending threat of icy, rainy, snowy, just yucky weather, we canceled the game, moved it to February the 9th.
And, that'll be a tremendous challenge. They're playing awfully well, and so in one sense it was good for us to have some practice time, but it is going to make things our schedule more crowded as the year goes on.
So the Flames improved to 17-1 overall, and we'll have more men's highlights coming up next week. Coach, good luck to you. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Randy.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more Inside Lee University Basketball right after this.
I'm Ken Jones, inviting you to visit the all-new SpeakingDeacon.com, where you'll find everything you're looking for. Browse over 1,000 vehicles, including 12 new car brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. Apply for financing, get a value for your trade-in, schedule a service appointment, download monthly service coupons, and find the Deacon Jones store nearest you. It's all right here at SpeakingDeacon.com.
Speaking Deacon, Speaking Deacon.
Are you Speaking Deacon?
At Sky Ridge Medical Center, we believe every moment is important. That's why, whatever you encounter on the road of life, Sky Ridge Medical Center will be there for you and your family. You can count on our experienced, dedicated staff to provide quality health care and the advanced medical technology you need, so you don't miss one special moment. Sky Ridge Medical Center, your hospital for a lifetime.
Stop hunting. Start finding. Choose the AT&T Real Yellow Pages to find just what you need. No other book has more complete ads and up-to-date listings.
Welcome back to Inside Lee University Basketball. It's time now for our Center Court feature, and today we continue our series looking into the NCAA Division II acceptance of the Lee Flames and the Lady Flames. A big part of this process for the NCAA is athletic facilities, and we're going to take a look at those in today's Center Court feature.
25 years of stability under President Paul Kahn has been the driving force behind Lee University's dramatic growth. Our campus today is home to more than 4,500 students. The construction of 20 new buildings, along with new majors, programs, and faculty, are all indications of Lee's success. Lee athletics have also shown dramatic improvements in both the diversity of programs and competitive excellence. Lee sponsors 17 sports. 13 currently compete at the championship level. The Flames and Lady Flames have been members of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics since 1975. Our athletic facilities are being continually improved and expanded. They are the best in this region and are frequently chosen as the site of high school tournaments. Walker Arena is home to the men's and women's basketball teams and the women's volleyball team. The arena has more than 30,000 square feet and can accommodate up to 2,700 fans. The facility also underwent significant renovations in 2005 and again in 2011. DeVos Tennis Center was constructed in 1988 and has room for 125 spectators. It features 6 outdoor hard surface courts with a grass area separating each set of 3 courts. The facility also features a pro shop. Olympic Field was built in 1997 and has seating for 300 fans. It features a home locker room and a covered hitting facility. Butler Softball Field was opened in 2004 and is home to the Lee University softball team. The complex features seating for 120. The soccer field was constructed in 1989 and was renovated in 2011. It features seating for 600 fans. Lee's Athletic Training Center is located in the McKenzie Athletic Building. This facility opened in 2003 and features 2,550 square feet. It also houses a weight room for Lee athletes with 2,800 square feet. We have top-of-the-line lighting in all our venues. The high quality of our playing areas is the result of having a grounds crew on staff that keeps the surfaces in top form. Our director of physical plant is a nationally recognized turf specialist who formerly worked with the Chicago Bears and has been featured in Turf magazine. Our teams participate in a number of events as part of Lee's commitment to community involvement. All athletes complete 80 hours of service in their 4 years at Lee. Women's soccer sponsors Kickin' It for Kids, a benefit game for the Austin Hatcher Foundation to raise awareness of pediatric cancer. The team has raised $40,000 in the past 2 years. They hosted the first Kickin' It for Kids game in the United States, and this fall, 23 other institutions will also participate. Lee's volleyball team hosts the Volley for a Cure game, benefiting the Mary Ellen Locher Foundation, creating scholarships for families who have been touched by breast cancer. They have raised $64,000 in 4 years. The team hosts a luncheon for over 200 breast cancer survivors in the Cleveland community. Women's basketball hosts Hoops for Hope game to benefit the Lee University Developmental Inclusion Classroom, or LUDIC, for children with autism. This effort has raised over $5,000 in the past 3 years to purchase classroom supplies and iPads. Lee athletes join in a fundraiser every spring to raise money for cystic fibrosis. The Great Strides program has raised over $550,000 since it started in 2001. We have the facilities, we have the players, we have the leadership. Athletic Director Larry Carpenter has won the SSAC Commissioner's Cup for Best Overall Athletic Program 6 out of the last 7 years, including the last 3 years in a row. And we have a president who believes in athletics and is on board to support our efforts to move into new arenas of competition. Lee University is ready to begin the process that will raise athletics to the next level by moving to the NCAA.
Time to go around the Southern States Athletic Conference, and as always, we're going to look at the women's side of the ledger first. The Women's Player of the Week for this week in the Southern States Athletic Conference is none other than Lee University's Holly German. The junior guard from Benton, Tennessee led the Lady Flames to a couple of big conference wins, averaging 27 points, 2 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 3.5 steals per game. German shot 44% from the field, 55% from behind the three-point line, and an amazing 93% from Charity Lane. The women's standings, Lee has opened up a lead over Coastal Georgia by 1 full game, 7-1. The Lady Flames 16-1 overall. Coastal Georgia is next at 8-2, 16-5 overall, followed by Southern Poly at 7-2 and 14-2. That's in the Eastern Division. In the Western Division, Faulkner is number 1, along with Auburn Montgomery. They're tied for the top spot, each of them 7-2 in league play. Then comes Mobile at 6-4, Loyola at 5-4, and Spring Hill coming in at 5-5. On the men's side, Lee University's Jamaris Gaines is this week's Southern States Athletic Conference Player of the Week. The 6'6 junior from Sylvester, Georgia, began playing for the Flames just after the Christmas break. This past week, he averaged 24 points and 4.5 rebounds per game in 2 wins for Lee. He hit 69% from the field, 67% from the three-point line, and was perfect, 100% from the free throw stripe. The standings in the East Division have Lee at 8-1 with a half-game lead over Emmanuel. The Flames rank 5th in the country, 17-1 overall. Emmanuel's next at 7-1, 18-2, and then nobody else in the Eastern Division has a winning record. Over in the West, William Carey is continuing at the top spots, 9-1, followed by Faulkner, 8-1, and then a three-way tie for third between Loyola, Belhaven, and Auburn Montgomery.
Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Fazoli's is the most family-friendly Italian restaurant in town. All the fresh and flavorful meals are served right at your table on real dishes with real silverware instead of foam or plastic. Enjoy a clean, contemporary dining room and the excellent service you would normally expect from an expensive sit-down restaurant. For less than the price of a burger and fries, you can get a delicious hot meal like baked spaghetti, pizza, and all the breadsticks you can eat. It's fast, fresh Italian. It's Fazoli's.
Welcome back to Inside Lee University Basketball. I'm Randy Smith, and joining us now, Lady Flames assistant coach Jan Spangler. Jan, welcome to the show. Marty decided you should do this one.
Yeah, he's skipping out on us today.
Skipping out, but that's okay. You're a lot prettier than he is, so we'll take that for what it's worth, all right? We have one game to show you. Of course, the Lady Flames game with Emmanuel, which was a big conference game, as we mentioned earlier in the show with Tommy Brown. It was canceled and postponed until February the 9th. That was because of the threat of icy weather in Cleveland. But we do have a game at home against Bruton Parker. This was a conference game, and Jan, let's talk a little bit about Bruton Parker.
Well, you know, anytime we step on the court with a conference opponent, we know we're going to get their best shot. So we know we have to be ready to go, and with us having that game canceled Thursday, we were a little disappointed just because we felt like defensively we weren't where we wanted to be against Coastal Georgia, and really since Christmas. And we're looking to get that edge back and thought we could do that against Emmanuel. But you know, had some good practices and thought we came out and did a good job against Bruton Parker.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights as the Lady Flames, nationally ranked Lady Flames, we might add, hosting Bruton Parker at the Walker Arena.
Right off the tip, they came out and got going a little bit. We were a little disappointed right off the bat. You know, didn't come out and jump on them like we wanted to. But like I said, we're going to get in our conference everybody's best shot. Once we finally got going, settled down, we were able to score a little bit. You see Carly Miller there. She is coming off of an ankle injury. Didn't get quite as many minutes that night, but doing a great job. She runs the floor so hard. You can see us there, Jenna Adams running the floor. And we just, you know, we wore them down really. Carly, she runs the floor so well and does such a good job there. And you see Holly getting out there in transition, making some plays for us. And then when Julia Zimmerman is knocking down threes, we're really hard to guard. So Mariah Isles, there you see her getting her hand on a rebound. Holly finishing that play. Mariah stepped in and gave us some big minutes against Bruton Parker and was really, really solid. And then Jenna Adams, such a talented, skilled player. You see Holly coming off. Holly's so hard to guard off that ball screen. See her stepping back right there. You know, if you give her some room, she can step back and make a play. She can get to the rim. So, and Carly seeing the floor, Julia's knocking down threes. And there's Holly again stepping back. Like I said, you can't give her any room. She's doing a great job for us. Melanie Barker, she made some nice plays. She's really starting to turn the corner for us, a freshman who we know is really talented and is starting to figure things out. And you see her there taking another jump shot and get to the rim. But it's going to be a really nice player for us down the road. Mariah making a big, strong finish, and there's Melanie again. Again, such a big, strong guard that can make some good plays. And then we got, you see Lauren Browning in the game there. You know, some kids got to get in the game there that don't get a lot of minutes. They really got some quality minutes and did a good job of finishing the game for us.
A lot of people played and scored in this game, 82-34 the final score. Holly German led with 28 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jen Adams tossed in 10 points and had a game-high 19 rebounds. She also blocked 3 shots. Quite a game for those two, as was the entire team. Only one game last week. I guess gave you guys an extra day or two to rest and get your legs back.
It did. We were able to rest. We got to get in a little extra work. Like I said, we're trying to get our edge back a little bit defensively and as far as rebounding the basketball. And we felt like we did that on Saturday. No matter who was on the court, they really played hard, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah. Got a big road game in the conference at Southern Poly this week. Talk a little bit about Southern Poly.
Well, we go to Truett McConnell on Tuesday, and again, we want to approach that the same way as Bruton Parker. No matter who's on the court, we want to play hard for 40 minutes. And then Southern Poly on Saturday, they've got a very talented team, and we'll have to be ready to go down there. All
right. Good luck, Jan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be back with more Inside Lee University Basketball right after this.
Stop hunting. Start finding. Choose the AT&T Real Yellow Pages to find just what you need. No other book has more complete ads and up-to-date listings.
Welcome back to Inside Lee University Basketball. I'm Randy Smith. Time now for our Eye on Lee Athletics, and Lee Volleyball is taking center stage today. The Lee Lady Flames volleyball team has become a national power on the NAIA front. And today we sit down to talk with Andrea Hudson, the veteran head coach of the Lady Flames, as they prepare for their final year as an NAIA volleyball power.
Going into the season, I had really high hopes. I knew that we had graduated 6 of our starters, but I really knew what kind of players I had coming back. And 3 of the girls that were actually on the court the year before during the Final Four were actually back now. So I wanted to say it was a rebuilding year, but I knew I still had some stability there. However, we did end up putting 2 other freshmen on the floor, and at times we had 3 new players on the floor and 4 new players on the floor at a time. So it did kind of play out to what I thought would happen in us having newness. So we had a lot of roller coaster rides, you might say. A couple of teams in our conference we went 5 games with, and which typically would not have happened, and we turned right around and beat a really good team. So I think I was very pleased, I would say, at the end of the year with how we ended up. The whole week is really, a big thing for us leading up to that, and the month now. We're calling it our Volley for the Cure month because we have so many different activities going on, and we try to add something new every year, but something that would bring the community in more. So this year we added the doctor-lawyer softball game, and our doctors and our lawyers agreed to raise so much money each, and they competed out there on Butler Field and had just a night of competition, and they raised about $6,000 just between them. So we're doing a lot of other things because the night itself is just to bring everybody on campus, make them aware, but to bring focus to the Mary Ellen Local Foundation and let everybody really see what that foundation does. The opportunity we have that right now we are probably going to do is to go ahead and play in the NCCAA because the top 10 volleyball teams, there's been about 5 of those that have transitioning as well. And so because of that, 3 or 4 of them will be at that national tournament, and they were all top 10 teams in the NAIA. So it looks to be like a very competitive, if you win that national championship, it would be a very nice national championship to have. When I first came to Lee as a coach, we were a member of the NCCAA, and we hosted the volleyball national championship for several years. But as we became stronger, there weren't as many competitive teams in it as we would have liked to have seen, so we had to make a choice. So now, kind of going back to that for a couple years, I think will be nice.
Be sure and join us next week on Inside Lee University Basketball. We'll have highlights from conference play for both the men and the women's basketball teams as they travel to Truett McConnell and Southern Poly. It'll be a couple of tough games for both teams. We're also going to sit down with members of the athletic training staff here at Lee as we discuss their role in preparing athletes for competition at Lee. All that and much more coming up next week. Be sure and join us. For coaches Marty Rowe and Tommy Brown, I'm Randy Smith. Have a great week, everybody.